Hi, I'm Reverend Chris Moore, and I'm standing outside in front of Foothills Chapel. I'd like to show not only what the chapel looks like inside, but a little bit about the view outside. If you turn around in that direction, you can see that we have Table Mountain right there, and actually there are 5 mountains that are visible. One of the things I love about Foothills Chapel is that it's actually a very relaxing environment, not only for a wedding, but for a funeral, a memorial service, a baptism. Today we're going to talk about how Foothills Chapel can work for you for the memorial service or funeral that you're having for your loved one. Foothills Chapel is a wheelchair-friendly environment. And what I mean by that is that outside we can have a ramp with 2 steps coming up, and the ramp can cover that for people in a wheelchair. In addition, we have another ramp downstairs. There are 2 steps going into the reception facility, as you'll see. When people first come into the vestibule here, just to my left you can see that we have a lot of coat hangers and a big place here to hang coats if that's necessary. And then people will be invited to pick up their programs right here. We can help you find somebody who can take care of handing out programs to people when they first come in. Sometimes people have a guest book for their funeral or memorial service as well, and that can be set out here as well. Over on the side you'll see to the left a stereo, and that offers the opportunity for you to play any kind of music you like. And so we can play your CD. We have some CDs that we can play for you, and we have a large variety of music that's available to us. I personally have a CD library of over 3,000, and many of the classical pieces, at least, I have here for you as well. I think it's a really good idea for your loved one, the music that they really enjoy during their lifetime. Even if it's rock and roll music or blues rock or anything like that, if they enjoyed it, I think it should be a part of the service. I think it will bring a smile to people's faces and help people remember a little bit about the heart and soul of that person. We were outside just a little while ago, and I've seen some pretty amazing things even outside. Just a few weeks ago, we had a funeral here, and the guy who passed away was a big fanatic for old cars, and he had a 1932 Ford Model A coupe. And they took him for one last spin in there. His ashes were right on the front seat of the car. They drove the car right up here to the chapel and left the car out there so that he could enjoy one more ride out there before he came in. We've also had people who are motorcyclists, and their motorcycle has been set up on the lawn outside. And then in here, at this table that I was talking about, it's also possible to have a few mementos. You can have photographs of the person who's deceased. You can also set up a big thing right here where you can put a poster board up and have all kinds of different photographs and other mementos of the person who's passed away. This is a view from upstairs at Foothills Chapel. Foothills Chapel was built in 1947, right after World War II. You can see a Navy shipbuilder was involved in the building of the beautiful arches up on the top here. It was designed to look like Noah's Ark upside down, and it creates a very traditional and very relaxing atmosphere for you and your family and your guests. In addition to that, up here, we're in the organ loft right now, and there's a few seats here, so if you have a larger memorial service or funeral, this is a great place for some of the extra people. The overflow people can be seated up here as well. We have the stereo, and you can use that for free, as I was saying before, and we also have an organ that's right up here. Of course, this is an organ loft, so the organ is available as well, and we can find you an organist, or you can bring your own organ. Down on the left side of the altar, you can see also a piano, so we have both a piano and an organ for live music at your service. As a minister, I've performed funerals and memorial services at cemeteries on site. I've also done them up in the mountains. I've done them at people's homes, at people's clubhouses back in the condominiums where they live, or the trailer parks where they live. So I've certainly come to where you are, to the place that's most comfortable for you as an individual, for you who's grieving the loss of your spouse or your loved one or your parents. One of the things to consider is that at Foothills Chapel, there's just so many things that are just taken care of for you. As you can see, it's a big enough facility, first of all, that you can have up to 200 people here, which you can't easily fit into a house. You can also just know that the details like the vacuuming and the cleaning afterwards and all the pickup and everything is just taken care of by us. And that this is actually a place that is beautifully designed, I think, in many ways, so that you can have some quiet space away from everybody for a while if you need it, as you'll see. We make sure that the family and the important guests are seated up near the front, and we reserve those spots. We have these special things here that just say reserved on the fronts of the pews. And then over on the left side, we also have another set for family, for pallbearers. So anybody that needs a specially reserved spot for them, we make sure that that's taken care of and that they get seated in a place where they belong to be seated. This is a large altar area here, as you will see. First of all, we always have a podium, and as the minister who officiates many of these services, I'm oftentimes standing here during the service. I might have a chair right behind me to sit down during the songs and during times when other people are delivering their eulogies. This can be used by your other guests who will be sharing in the eulogies possibly as well, and they can just come up here with their paperwork and have something to hold on to, and I'll be right here behind them. If they have a eulogy that's written up, I can be right there, so if they start crying or feel uncomfortable in any way, then I can just take over and continue reading for them. I want everybody who's here to feel very, very supported, and that whatever it is that you need on that particular day at that moment, that we're here to help you with that. For example, a lot of times people like to be out here to receive the condolences, the hugs, and everything of many, many friends and family who come, and sometimes it just gets to be a little too much. And I'll show you another room where you can just kind of go off and be quiet and have your own time with just you or just a few very important family members. Then you can come back out and join the crowd as well. But this is set up here. We usually don't need a microphone, but we do have a microphone available as an optional addition if that's something that you really feel that you need. We have these flowers that are out here, and they're set up usually at a funeral or memorial service. People will bring flowers. Even if you tell them not to, they do anyway. So these are here until the flowers come in. As soon as somebody comes in with flowers, we take this down and we put up the flowers of the family member or the friend or the loved one who has come here as well. This area here, if it's a funeral, then this is large enough for a casket easily. There's plenty of room for the casket to be here. We offer the opportunity for viewings as well, where an hour or 2 hours before the memorial service or the funeral starts, you can also have a viewing, and then the casket is closed about 10 or 15 minutes before the service begins. What we have over here is a 51-inch diagonal TV screen, and you can, anything that's on your computer, you can play it back here. So you can do a PowerPoint presentation, slideshow, you can play a DVD, whatever you want to just bring your computer in, preferably a PC, and you can just set it up so that it'll just play right through here and everybody can watch whatever it is that you have to offer. This can be a beautiful opportunity for a eulogy to have another element to it. You have the live people talking, and it's good in a eulogy to have oftentimes a family member, a lifelong friend, somebody who was maybe a co-worker, so you get different angles and different perspectives on the deceased, and the love that is expressed by different people in different realms of their lives can be very touching. And then it can all be in a way kind of brought together by a slideshow or something like that. Honestly, this is oftentimes done by some of the younger people. A son or a grandson of the deceased might take care of these details of putting all the pictures and putting them together with some music that the person really loved as well. Our altar area has lots of room. You can put easels up here with more pictures. And what I love to do, and I've seen some amazing things up here on this part of the altar. Usually up here we have candles, and up here we have our own flowers for the time being. Again, those get replaced as people bring in flowers as well for that day. But down here, this is a place where you can put something that just brings a smile to everybody's face. Sometimes I've seen baseball bats up here, I've seen football helmets, I've seen Peyton Manning shirts, I've seen photographs of motorcycles and all kinds of different things that are put up here. Golf clubs, fishing rods, paintings. A lot of times people are artists and they do painting or they do quilting or things like that. These can appear up here as well. Just the things that kind of help people remember, and they'll see a little something up here and they'll say, oh, that's just like him, or that was her all the way. A lot of times if somebody has done a lot of quilting and sewing, many people will have some of the things given to them that person maybe had quilted or sewed, and you can have one sample up here, and then other people will say, yes, I got something too from the audience. So this is just a wonderful opportunity to be a little creative. You don't have to do anything fancy, but just bring a few things that will remind everybody. And then after the service is over, people do have the option, if you would like them to just come up here and look at some of the things that represent that person that you love so much. A memorial service or a funeral is really a very special opportunity for you and for all the guests, all the family, all the friends, to really feel supported with one another, to feel that there's a community of people who share the same grief and who are willing to offer each other the support and the love in any way that needs to show itself. I'm kind of off to the side here a little bit because I'm going to take you into a room for those times when you might need a little quiet time for yourself or your close family. Now this room can also be used as an overflow room. If you have 200 people or so, then this room will be filled up with guests. However, if it's 150 people or less, then you won't need this room for the guests. One of the things, just so you know, we have obviously plenty of flowers in here, but most importantly, this is your quiet space. This is a chance, if you would like me to say a prayer with you or to just be quiet with you together, you and perhaps some other very close family, perhaps your children. This room provides a great opportunity for that. There's certainly some chairs here where people can go, but I always encourage people to just know that this is here. Even if you think you want to spend most of your time with the guests, with large numbers of people, you may just feel a little overwhelmed, and it might just be good to just have a place that's just all yours, that's all yours, and this room accomplishes that for you. Again, there are so many details that you have to attend to after the loss of a loved one, all the cleaning of the houses and the dealing with the wills and the probate and the estate and the taxes, and there's so much to do. On this day, as much as possible, we want to create a peaceful environment where you truly feel supported, nurtured, and taken care of.
Okay.
And speaking of being nurtured and taken care of, this room can be very, very helpful for you in that regard. You know, I've done many funerals and memorial services at people's homes or at the home of the deceased. And honestly, that's an awful lot of work for the people who are hosting it. There's all the cleanup afterwards, there's all the preparation, there's the vacuuming, there's the cleaning, there's dealing with all the food, and all that can be taken care of here so that you can just stay with and receive and give and share the support of friends and family on this very, very important day. This is just one option. There's certainly others, but we provide the tables, the chairs, the decorations in this room here, and it just makes it so easy for you. Your guests, all they have to do is just come on downstairs. Usually about half the people will come to some kind of reception, and this makes it much easier for them to do that. The other half oftentimes just either have to go back to work or will just greet you on the way out and offer their final condolences as they leave immediately after the service. But if you choose to have it down here, this is a room that holds 80 people. We can provide you with a caterer if you'd like to have someone take care of the food for you and do all the cleanup for you. We always have a cleanup crew here anyway, so you don't have to be here mopping afterwards and cleaning up. You don't have to be cleaning up and preparing beforehand. All that is taken care of for you. And I'd like to show you just a few of the things that we have around here. We have armchairs, so you can just kind of sit back into the chairs here. We kind of think of this as a dessert table, and so you can put cakes and desserts and cupcakes and cookies and all kinds of things over here if you like. People can just kind of wander over in that direction. Oftentimes for a funeral memorial service, the reception is fairly simple, just finger foods. You don't necessarily have a big sit-down meal. Keeps it simple. We have a nice 12-foot buffet table here, and there people sometimes just do a potluck with friends and family bringing stuff and just laying them out here. Most receptions do not include alcoholic beverages. Some do, and we do allow alcoholic beverages here. And if that's the case, then this is a nice place for that. You'll have your beer and wine back here, and someone just serving the beer and wine for people as they want to come out, or whatever kinds of mixed drinks you may want to have available as well. This can also be where you have a coffee pot set up, because we do have a coffee pot here for you. It can also be a place where you put your lemonade and punch and soda pop and that sort of thing. So the food is all taken care of here. The table in the far corner over there, there's a few books on there right now. That can be used for more pictures. The easels can be brought downstairs as well that have all the photographs, like the big poster boards full of pictures of the deceased, for all the happy memories that can be shared by people. So they can tell stories. We always like to have a memorial service or a funeral where the eulogy is an opportunity to kind of prime the pump and get people going with a few good stories that tell us a little bit about your loved one. Then when they come down here, they can continue sharing stories. And it's so much fun when a coworker tells a story that even a family member didn't even know about the deceased as well. That's our little fake fireplace, just to add a little coziness to the scene here downstairs. And also to my left is a much more 21st century device. We have a computer screen and projector as another option, and more slides and more videos can be shown down here. This is a 110-inch screen, and so as you can see, it's actually bigger than I am. So everybody who's down here can enjoy some kind of show. We have the speakers and everything. So again, all you have to do is bring your PC and hook it up to our equipment, and it's an optional addition if you want to have that done. And just a little bit over to the right, we have a music system. We have some CDs there, and I would encourage you to bring your own CDs. There's also a little docking port there for your iPods and iPhones and that sort of thing. So people can add their own special musical mixes to this as well. Again, just to remind people the kind of music that the deceased really loved during his or her lifetime. This is one of the dressing rooms, you might say, and there are actually two of them here at Foothills Chapel and Banquet Room. And this is a place where if you really want to have quiet places to yourself, this is a good place to go. You can even close the door behind you. People have used this for all kinds of different things. We have a bagpiper who comes oftentimes to funerals or memorial services, and he kind of tunes up and warms up in this room because it's a very quiet room where he gets out of the way of people. And we have the restrooms, of course, downstairs here. And then in our kitchen, I just wanted you to see what's available because sometimes people do little family things. So we have a double oven over here. We have a coffee maker, as I said. We have lots of counter space. We have a microwave oven and a sink. We have a refrigerator. So all these things are available for your use, and there's no extra charge for the use of them. You can use our caterer. You can find your own caterer. You can find a restaurant. You can just go to one of the local grocery stores or bring your own snacks. Whatever you like to do is completely up to you, and we'll take care of cleaning it all up for you as well. So I'm back upstairs here at the podium where I oftentimes deliver sermons to the bereaved, to you, to your friends, to your families. I'm hoping you feel very, very supported and loved and cared for by all of them, and that you also feel well cared for by us, because it's so important for me that you feel that you are taken care of here at Foothills Chapel, or wherever your service is. If you choose to have it at your home, graveside, at a cemetery, sometimes military services, or over at Fort Logan, and I've gone over there as well. Wherever you choose to have the service, even if it's scattering ashes on the side of a mountain, I promise to be there for you, to talk with you, to find out more about the person you love that was such a big part of your life, and to have you feel as supported as possible in any location. Here at Foothills Chapel, we take care of a lot of the logistics for you, but there's no right or wrong way to do this. There's no right or wrong place to have your service. It's very, very important that you receive the support you need in the way that you need it, and that's what's really right for you on that day. Thank you for watching.